Hello, everybody. Welcome to 50/50 Booking. Joining me in the Hall of Fame today is Karen Callers. It's Aaron. And it wasn't even on the bump either.
Wow.
Yeah, one of many problems I have with that particular thing. Not the people who got in it, but that particular thing. But I'm just going to go through our housekeeping first, and then we will get down to nitty gritty. Right, sponsoring our show today is Running Light Photography. There you go. Weddings, events, portfolios, etc. If you need photography stuff, get in touch and see what they can do for you. And now relating specifically to all of our fun stuff, the Patreon. If you want to help support us, get extra bonus content, extra bits and pieces, just help keep the lights on, essentially. Just
put 50p in meter.
Well, a bit more than 50p, but essentially that is it, yeah. And we can help you out there. Then we have our socials. We have our Twitter here, which is Sorting End. This is for all of our shows. So just hashtag whichever show you want to talk about, and we can find it that way. And we have an Instagram, which is also here, which is Sorting Stuff. And what we'll do before we get on with the show is we'll go to Aaron. So we have Camera Colours. This is getting towards the end of the month, so we still have the Epilepsy Society. So for those of you who can donate and want to help, please get involved and share. Like, all that stuff helps. Awareness is good. And then, of course, we have the Twitch. Yes, I changed it.
I've got a few more subscribers, so...
Exactly. I thought it was fair to reflect that. So, yeah, you can check out Aaron when he streams on Twitch, which we're currently going on Twitch as well as YouTube, but this is Aaron's one for Karen Colours. The name's at the top there. Also, is what his name is here, so that does help you as well. Okay. That's it for the housekeeping, which is all well and good, but we'll do the Hall of Fame stuff first, because I think we should get it out of the way. Eric Bischoff definitely should be in, no question about it. Okay?
No.
Anyone who disagrees with that can kiss my ass. Right.
You don't want to go there. Don't want to go there.
Because I will fight for Eric Bischoff in this regard for many reasons. People may not like the guy. I don't care. You can not like somebody but still value their contribution to wrestling, and the man has made a big contribution to the world of wrestling.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up, we have the great Khali, who's in. Again, people have their issues with this, but Khali has done big things for wrestling in India to make that a more high-profile thing, to get them involved. He's also a former world champion, whether you like that or not. So, also, I loved how he greeted being inducted. He went, "Yay!"
Yeah.
So, but I think both the best and the worst thing was Kane. Kane got in, rightfully so, absolutely. What was bad about it is it was done on the bloody bump.
Yeah.
Okay. Do it on Raw. Do it on SmackDown. Come on. But I like the fact it was Undertaker that told him.
Yeah, I mean, I did like that touch, but I would have thought the Undertaker would have been inducted first. I don't know, that's just me probably being a bit cynical, but I thought Undertaker would have been inducted first because he was wrestling for longer and he was about before Kane was.
I think the reason that hasn't happened, and people aren't going to like this, I don't think he's retired.
I don't either, but
I think there's more of a chance
retired.
I think there's more of a chance that Kane is, because being a mayor now, he's very much in politics nowadays. So there's a good chance he's not coming back to wrestling. So that I understand. But I think that's why Undertaker is not being inducted, because I don't think he's actually retired. But of course, one person who took himself off the inducting list was Batista. Because of
he's filming out he's filming still in America for the Guardians of the Galaxy 3/44.
I actually think there's two. I think there's two reasons. I think that's one of them. I think the other one being is he doesn't want to do it without people, because obviously it's going to be virtual. There's no crowd. And I think he likes the crowd. I don't blame him.
Yeah.
But of course, here's the other thing: the classes of 2020 and 2021 are being inducted at the same time, because obviously it didn't happen last year.
So Bischoff is going to be inducted at the same time as the NWO.
Yeah, which he should be inducted in as a part of anyway.
Yeah. So he should be a two-time Hall of Famer by the end of the Hall of Fame ceremony.
So, But I think possibly for him, it may mean more the fact he got in on his own, considering the fact of it would be
how much he did.
Yeah, because the NWO was obviously, yes, he came up with the idea and got it up and running. Obviously, the other guys helped a lot with making it work, but ultimately it came from him up here. But obviously, bear in mind everything he did for like WCW stuff, AWA.
I'd be curious to see what entrance music he uses at the Hall of Fame ceremony, because he had a lot of different ones over the years.
It'll be "I'm back, but I'm better than ever," as it should be, in all honesty. Because
if it isn't, that'll be a bit.
We have a comment, by the way. Yeah,
she's got a point.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, he will never rest in peace.
Unless he does a botch up shooting star press like Lesnar did at WrestleMania 2020. Then he might rest in peace.
Possibly, but the only reason Lesnar didn't rest in peace is because Lesnar's traps in his neck are so well built. That is literally the only thing that stopped him breaking his neck doing that move.
Yeah. Hasn't done it since, though.
No. I listened to the Kurt Angle podcast. He talked about it. This was, I think, the first episode he did. And they talked about this match, and they talked about that.
Yeah.
And that's how I know, basically. So, but yeah, again, he doesn't need to do that either. That's the other thing. Also, bear in mind that was WrestleMania 20, and that's how many years ago now?
16.
Yeah. Trust me, you try doing stuff you could do it 16 years ago now, you would not probably end up faring too well for the most part.
I mean, I can cook a lot better than I used to be able to at 8 years old.
I mean, physically. But yeah, obviously. To be fair, at 8 years old, I could cook.
Oh, I could as well, but I could cook pasta and pasta and pasta.
Yeah. Well, I was saying that 16 years ago for me, I was not 8 years old. 16 years ago for me, I was actually in my 20s. So
I was only 8 years old.
Yeah, so just something to bear in mind there. So it's a different scenario. But physically, as you get older, obviously certain things get harder. So
8 years old in a freshly broken home. Good times.
Oh, that sounds wonderful. It doesn't. It really doesn't. So
it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for everyone who gets inducted because obviously, whatever your feelings about WWE Hall of Fame, and I personally think it's stupid, the Hall of Fame. If they're happy to go in and they want to go in, obviously they get a Legends contract out of it, so they also get paid for stuff as well. Well, most of them do. I don't think Bishop's getting one, but there's a reason why for that. But they all get the rings, they get some money out of appearing and stuff. So I think good for them. Well done. The reason I think Bischoff won't, because Bischoff has other assets and interests he's dealing with. So I don't think he'd be put on a Legends contract for that reason.
I mean, there's been a couple of people talking about it and saying about the Legends contract and stuff. The Legends contract for WWE employees is basically their retirement plan.
Essentially, yeah. But with the Legends
contract, when you retire from the ring, you're contractually obligated to make cameo appearances.
Yeah,
even more so now that there's the 24/7 championship and stuff, because anybody can have it.
Yeah, there's also certain things that you're not allowed to do, which is why I think Bischoff will not.
I'd love if Bischoff actually pinned Truth for the 24/7 championship.
It would be fine.
The induction ceremony. And he pulled out a can of black spray paint and went NWO on it.
The problem is it's virtual, but I get what you mean. But we do have a question here, and I'd like to address this because I think it's a very good question. Do you know this?
Wasn't it one of these a superstar passed away, and they said and to commemorate them, they started a Hall of Fame or something.
Essentially, yeah. Because what it actually is there's the modern Hall of Fame, which most people know well because basically Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
Okay. He was the first major one because when the Hall of Fame became a big major thing, really for the mainstream media, it was when Andre. Then they did the Andre Memorial Battle Royal. He was the first major inductee.
Yeah.
And from that point forwards, they've had it be more high profile. They used to induct people into their own sort of Hall of Fame, but it wasn't televised or anything. But the main reason why we have the modern Hall of Fame, as you'd understand now, is because of Andre the Giant when they put him in, because they gave him his battle royal and everything. And he was the first, and subsequently everyone following since has pretty much been following in his shadow. But Andre, if there's one person who legitimately should be in a Hall of Fame, it's Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
It's a very simple thing. So that's why the Hall of Fame exists essentially, is because Andre, unfortunately, was inducted post-mortem. And I think what that is because the amount of people who supported this and came up with it, I reckon what it is they thought, right, let's try and get as many people in as we can. And hopefully, I mean, some have obviously passed away, but you've had a few who they've actually been inducted before they died. The Ultimate Warrior, for example, Bobby Heenan.
Yeah,
these guys
I was just about to say that.
Before they passed, and they got to see how appreciated they were while still alive, which once you retire is a big thing. Also, the families get to see it. Yeah. And the families get to see it. I mean, in recent years, you had Rick Rude, who got inducted, obviously post his death, but his family got to be there. They got to see how much he meant to people and how valuable he was and how much people loved him.
Yeah, and the Big Boss Man's family as well.
Yeah, there you go. There's an example, but that's essentially why it came around is to. I mean, it's a gimmick, really, because basically it's whoever Vince wants. Is the honest answer.
I mean, putting Goldberg into the Hall of Fame, I think, was a bit premature, to be honest. She's still wrestling and stuff now, and it kind of takes away from what the Hall of Fame is. But that's just my opinion.
Edge is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, but nobody actually thought he was going to come back.
I was just like, I like to point out to people, Edge is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I mean, you're all right, though, to be fair on that one. There is no way anyone would ever have known he was actually going to be able to come back, considering what happened.
Mm.
Don't get me wrong, I'm glad he did.
Oh, yeah, I am too.
Mainly for him, in all honesty.
I'm pretty damn certain that he's going to get the belt at Mania anyway.
Well,
the storyline's anything to go by.
We will see about that because obviously that's the last show we talk about out of the three we will discuss. But yeah, essentially that's why the Hall of Fame exists. It's because Vince wanted to basically, let's milk some money out of fans and put people in my Hall of Fame. It's like, but how do we decide who goes in, Vince? I'll decide, said Vince. And everyone was like, okay, Vince, please don't future endeavor us.
I'll decide, but I'll let my son-in-law deal with all the invitations and organising because I hate paperwork.
He's still trans son-in-law. They both have to do that stuff. But a lot of the ones where there were strange relationships between Vince and the person, a lot of those were produced by Triple H, Bruno Sammartino, the Ultimate Warrior.
Mm.
So yes, Triple H or Paul Levesque, whatever you want to call him, is responsible for a lot of those people because he was the middleman essentially to get them involved in talking again.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's nice a lot of these people got to make peace with Vince before these things happen because you don't know what happened because obviously not long after the Warrior got inducted into the Hall of Fame, he died.
Yeah.
For an example. So it's good that they got to bury the bad choice of words, but the hatchet because unfortunately that's not what the phrase is.
It's a hatchet, man.
Well, make peace. Let's put it that way. They got to make peace. So, anyway, that's the Hall of Fame. Obviously, this is because it's the lead up to WrestleMania. A lot of these things are still going to be announced. There probably may still be more people inducted, to be perfectly honest, because it's WWE Hall of Fame. Let's see what happens. Let's start. I think we are going to go. It's Raw.
We're not talking Fastlane first?
Ooh, did we not do Fastlane?
No, because we do it on a Sunday and Fastlane was on the night.
Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, my apologies. I forgot. Yeah, because we did it on the day, didn't we? And then you watched it later.
Yeah.
My apologies. I don't even remember the matches, in all honesty. Yeah, I remember one thing that happened. And unfortunately, it's probably the worst thing.
Mm.
Alexa and Randy.
I'll do your one, and I'll raise you one.
Go on.
Just like Alexa did for Randy, but I fell asleep.
Well, that's WWE booking for you.
This is the first pay-per-view I can honestly say I actually fell asleep halfway through the pay-per-view, and it was in the middle of the Seth Rollins and Shinsuke match,
which unfortunately was probably the best actual match.
I got to Seth's entrance and I blacked out, and then I sat up and I looked at the TV, and the ref was just like counting 1, 2. I was like, nope, and I turned the TV off before I got to see whether or not it was free or not. I was just like, okay, go to bed. I'm gonna watch the rest tomorrow.
Oh, here you go. That. Yeah.
So you was right about the book.
That's why we make show notes for.
Yeah, you was right about the tag team championship match starting things off though between Belair, Banks, and Nia Baszler.
Just a suspicion I had.
Yeah, they retained, to be honest.
Yeah, and that's why I figured it would, because they were gonna do something stupid, and they did.
Yeah, I mean, like, we'll probably touch on it a bit later, but the whole Belair and Banks thing, they've turned it into a one-upsmanship kind of storyline.
Which, I think is probably a better storyline than what they were doing with Reginald. I mean, for God's sake.
Yeah. So, I mean, as long as they do continue with it up until Mania, then there shouldn't be a problem. But if they stop it next week, literally the week of Mania, then it's going to be dead in the water by the time it hits the big screen.
Well, here's the thing, though, with the one-upsmanship thing. It works for both of them because of the kind of characters they are. But the thing is, and this is what's really infuriating, this was the easiest a match to build up to WrestleMania, and WWE fucked it up.
Yeah, they tried to go for Golden Role Models 2.0, and it slapped them in the face like a wet fish.
Yeah, this match, the Bianca Belair Sasha Banks match, should be one of the main events, and it's not going to be because of how bad this build has been.
It's listed as the main event of night 2, and it's more main event than it's the main event after Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre, which I was surprised of, to be honest.
I don't think that'll happen. I think Lashley and Drew will, because I think this match has been so badly. And if it main events, no, by all means, if it doesn't main event, then I'll be happy for both of them. Yeah. But from a storyline point of view, it does not deserve to main event, because the build-up's been so bad. I mean, the Lashley-Drew match hasn't been that great either, but at least it's had an actual build that made kind of sense. It just wasn't good.
I think that in this case, the whole thing about it being a 2-day event is because of the contractually obligated statement in the Royal Rumble winners contract that they main event a WrestleMania, and being as there's 2 nights, Bianca will get the main event.
That's WWE's own problem. They've done that to themselves, because originally it was just to be using title to a shot at the title. It never used to be a main event at WrestleMania. Yeah, they've actually caused that problem for themselves.
Yeah, they've well and truly fucked themselves over.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
As I said before, it was the easiest thing to book. Bianca won the Rumble. Sasha is a snobbish diva champion who's very gifted. They both have similar characters. They can just one-up themselves like they're doing now. They could have got all the way to Mania with this stuff.
They've done it. Let's face it, they've started this one-upmanship stuff about 2 weeks too late.
It should have, they should have literally started just before Fastlane, and they could have kept them apart immediately after the Rumble. There's a whole bunch of things you could have done which would have been better than what they did.
I mean, Bianca was on Raw, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And she decided to come over to SmackDown. So, in my opinion, we could have had beat the clock challenges between Bianca and Sasha on the separate brands and then do something like that. It would have been a lot more interesting and a lot more better booking wise for like matches and stuff. But instead we got this.
Yeah, again, that's one-upmanship. It works for them. So yeah, that would actually have been a good idea, in all honesty. But there you go. But yes, so obviously, yeah, Nia and Baszler won the tag match. Oh, I'm so surprised.
And then you have Big E versus Apollo.
Are we doing the accent again this week?
No.
Yeah, who's not surprised by this result?
I'm really not sure about the ending of this match. Big E retained, but
yeah,
the finish was shit.
There's rumors it was actually a botch.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so
it was that bad. I was like, who's on top of who? What? Where's his shoulders? What? So even the camera angles were off. I was like,
yeah. And they compounded the stupidity with this by what happened on SmackDown, but we'll get to that later.
Oh yeah.
So, but yeah, Big E kept the belt, but I'm pretty sure it was a botch.
Yeah. And then we're getting it again at Mania.
Are you surprised?
In all honesty, no, but I would have preferred it to happen differently.
Yeah. They could have done it better, yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
I do agree with you. Let's see, so what?
So Strowman versus... What?
Please don't do accent, Aaron. Please, I'm begging you.
I do not know what you are talking about.
Oh no, he's off. Now, if you hadn't said anything, he wouldn't have done it. Oh dear.
It's all right.
Yes. So
Strowman versus Shane, who got injured.
Didn't happen. Yes.
It ended up being Elias because he wanted screen time at Mania.
Here's the thing, though, right? I actually prefer the fact it was Elias.
Yeah. I mean, ouch.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the whole swapsies out thing coming, but ouch. Like, even with Riker's distractions, you could tell Strowman was, like, he played the pissed off giant very well.
It's something Strowman's very good at.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised. Like, it's a former strongman.
Yeah. And when he first got brought up to the main roster, when he was split from the Wyatt family, he was doing all sorts of strongman stuff. He's pulling stuff down, chucking over ambulances and stuff. So, yeah, it makes sense because that's how he was.
Flipping
trucks. There you go.
Vince's limo. We loved that.
Well, who doesn't? Well, Vince, but other than Vince. Oh, but yeah, oddly enough, guess who won that match?
Yeah.
Strowman.
I think we need to come up for a new word for squash matches when it comes to Strowman, because he doesn't squash, he flattens.
Oh, while we're talking about Strowman, by the way, I have to mention this. Choo choo.
Yeah. I like the 6-year-old part of me loved the whole woo woo, but at the same time I was just like cringing on the inside.
So you loved it, basically, is what you're telling me.
Okay, moving on.
Okay, right. So, was it Rollins next?
Yeah, Rollins versus Nakamura.
Yeah, there you go. Probably the best actual match.
Yeah, I agree.
So it was kind of obviously win, unfortunately, but at the same time, I'm not mad about that either.
I mean, Rollins had a couple new moves in the match as well that I hadn't seen him do before as well. So he's expanded his arsenal a bit.
Yeah. It was two good wrestlers who had a good match, despite the fact of having very little of a story. Go figure.
I mean, I really enjoyed the match when I watched it again. When I watched it the following morning.
When you're awake, yeah.
Yeah. I think what really tired me out was the amount, how hard I was laughing over the Strowman Elias match.
Something that Elias clearly couldn't do.
No.
So, but it was a good match. Rollins won, no surprise.
No.
So, but again, the thing is, sometimes a match is obvious, but as long as you entertain me, I'm happy.
Yeah. I just suffered with a bit of deja vu this afternoon when I watched SmackDown.
Oh, right. Here we go. Right. Could you imagine Braun feeding a kid and saying, "Here comes the choo-choo train," and then flattens the kid? Yes. Yes, I could.
Isn't that what happened to Nicholas? Oh, no, he went back to school.
Yeah, he went back to school, but I could imagine that, yes. I'm pretty sure WWE will never do it. But I could imagine it. See, so who was off?
Like, does the ultimate heel move and kicks a baby in a high chair across the arena.
You're going to get these hands. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. McIntyre versus Sheamus was next.
Oh, you mean the Stair Bros?
Mm.
It's what I'm calling them from now on because, they hit each other in the head with stairs.
I mean, I wasn't a fan of McIntyre's war paint, but I could get used to it.
It's the whole Celtic thing because they're both Celts.
Yeah. I'm just glad Sheamus didn't come out with the green, white, and orange all over his face because he'd have had a green beard and I'd have pissed myself laughing.
Yeah, there's far too many jokes about Sheamus as there is. We don't need more.
Yeah.
But as far as an actual wrestler goes, Sheamus is talented. He's just not used very well, is the honest answer to that. But again, not surprised who won.
I mean, the match in itself was good. But we got a nice tour of the Thunderdome, didn't we? So
yeah.
They exposed the floor of the Thunderdome. Like, anyone can see the actual floor of the Thunderdome around the Thunderdome. Is actually the matting that they use in dojos and stuff. Well,
of course. But at the same time, I don't have an issue with them having padding. I don't mind.
But it made me laugh because, I think it was Byron was going on about on the concrete floor. I was just like, dude, that's dojo matting. Anybody who's been to a dojo knows that's dojo matting. Stop saying Aaron. It's concrete.
Yeah, the thing is, Aaron, that was Byron. Byron wouldn't know concrete if he actually hit concrete. He'd go, "Oh, it's a dojo mat."
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I like the fact that we got to see another Glasgow smile, and this time Drew got his own back on Sheamus. Well, there's been a lot of smiling posts on Instagram. It always brightens the day.
Exactly. I got these scars. Anyway, that's going on. Obviously, everyone guessed who would win this match, mainly because they announced Drew's WrestleMania match before Fastlane.
I mean, I didn't like the ending, but I understand why they made it clean.
Yeah. They kind of
that way there's no doubt
because of that Mania announcement.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want it to be decisive. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it was explosive and it was heavy hitting, so I was quite happy with it when I watched it.
Exactly. So let's see. So Drew. Is it Ali and Riddle?
And Orton.
We didn't discuss Ali and Riddle, did we? Because that was
American English and Canadian English is one of the
Alexa, stop! I forgot that thing was on.
It's because you mentioned the word.
Yeah. Riddle and Ali was a kickoff show.
Yeah, we didn't mention it though, so I think we probably should.
I loved it. I called it. I said Retribution was going to turn on him.
That's why I thought we should mention it.
I was happy. Very happy.
Yeah. I mean, yes, Riddle was always going to win, but there was more the fact of Aaron predicted this would happen with Retribution, and to be fair to him, it's exactly what happened. So now we have Randy and Miss Bliss. That's what you refer to her as, to avoid that thing going off.
Yeah, that kind of scared me. I completely forgot that my mum didn't have it. And the fact that she leaves it on all the time is really annoying.
Oh, to be honest, Amazon stuff's creepy anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both of them are, yeah.
I mean, I've got my headphones in, so you can say it as much as you like, but I will have to refer to her as Bliss from now on.
That would be my suggestion, because it happens on some of the other shows I've seen, is they will say that, and if they've got one of those nearby, it sets it off.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Miss Bliss or Gelfiend, whatever you want to call her. Just don't call her by that name.
I'm not going to call her the Femi Fiend, because that sounds like a really bad hygiene product.
It sounds like an anime character as well, but anyway.
It does.
Yeah. Okay. Best thing about this match was how Miss Bliss won. I loved it, and it upset so many people. That's why I liked it.
I actually liked the kind of like way the match played out as well. Like before the bell had even rung, Orton went up for his signature pose and was coughing up the black vomit Papa Shango stuff. And yeah, that was just like a bit of a okay. And he got annoyed about it as well, which I thought was like, yeah, it's good acting.
Yeah. Obviously, those of us who know enough to realise WWE do not do man on girl violence pretty much at all. There are rare exceptions, but it's pretty much not a thing. So it was obvious something was going to happen, and lo and behold, Bo Dallas turned up in his Bray Wyatt cosplay.
Yep.
That's the rumour going around, by the way. Apparently it was Bo Dallas, not Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, unless Bray Wyatt's lost a good 20 pounds, then yeah.
So, he came in, Sister Abigail to Randy, and Alexa covered Randy and pinned him in a way which apparently the internet is full of immature little boys who can't get over the fact that Randy got pinned in the way he did.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the play out of like the fire as well when Randy actually went for Alexa to start off with. And then you had the rack falling from the sky and the fireball again, but Randy somehow managed to swipe it away. It was actually quite clever.
Yeah, the problem with stuff like that is the minute you try to apply logic to it, there's too many holes in it. One of which being, why is Randy not bumped by the fireball? Even if he swipes away, it still touches him.
Yeah.
So, from a logic point of view, it doesn't work. But if you're invested in that storyline, then it is a progression at least.
Yeah, and I kind of saw the Fiend coming out from like the underneath of the ring coming, but
well, we predicted that on the last show. Is we literally both just sat there and said, "Who thinks the Fiend's coming back?" I mean, literally both put our hands up because it was so obvious.
Yeah, I mean, I would have preferred it like lights off, lights on, Fiend standing in the middle of the ring, because like the thing with coming up from underneath the ring, it's been done so many times.
Well, it could be the issue of maybe Bo Dallas doesn't know how to do it the same way as what Bray does, so they had to have it done that way.
I mean, it could be.
I'm actually going to call him Bo Fiend from now on, just FYI. Well, he's Bo Fiend now, so Bo Fiend. Yeah, so we're going to see something between Randy and Bo Fiend. So
I mean, at least he's finally out of catering.
Yeah, but makes you wonder what's in the food if that's what happens to you.
I mean, maybe people should start eating it more if they're going to get a part.
You know, maybe it's just one particular thing you have to eat in catering, and that's what happens.
Maybe.
So that is pretty much Fastlane, though, isn't it? I think.
No. Main event.
No, I said pretty much Fastlane. As in, it was a descriptive. I don't mean it was the last thing.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, there is a main event, unfortunately.
I mean, I wasn't angry about the main event, but I wasn't exactly over the moon about it either.
No.
I'd rather watch the Alexa and Orton match again.
Yeah.
They didn't go off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that might be because Miss Bliss is behind you.
Fair enough.
I'm looking for Bowfiend. When you see Bowfiend, that's when you got an issue.
Yeah.
But yeah, main event. Yippee!
I mean, I'm surprised as an enforcer, as a special guest enforcer, Edge didn't wear a official WWE shirt. And I don't mean like an official like WWE.com merchandise shirt. I mean
as in like an official, as in like a referee shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, it's whenever you look at these special enforcers when you get them that come in for these events, whether it's a celebrity or another wrestler, they never do. Well, or they wear, or if it's in the case of someone like Shawn Michaels, he'd wear like a custom one, would cut the arms off. It'd look more like a stripper's top.
Mm.
So generally, they usually don't unless they customize it somehow.
And also, I'd like to point out that the special, I repeat, special guest enforcer wasn't even introduced when they did the match introduction. Like in this corner, Daniel Bryan. In that corner, Roman Reigns weighing in and didn't say anything about the enforcer.
But you wouldn't introduce him then. If you were going to introduce him, you should have done it when he came out, because he should have come out before everyone, right? And that's when you introduce him. You shouldn't introduce him when you talk about the title stuff.
Yeah, but they didn't even do that.
That would confuse morons. But again, who was surprised by this outcome, really?
No.
No. See. We all sorry, go on.
I mean, I was surprised, like, there's 30 minutes left of the pay-per-view, and I wasn't really sure what to expect, to be honest, except for Reigns retaining. But, like, Edge did nothing the first time one of them was thrown out, and then the second time he did nothing as well. And then, obviously, the ref was knocked out. Edge reffed fairly until Roman tapped and he hit Bryan with a chair because Ryan accidentally hit him.
Yeah. This is why the main event was like, for me, it was like...
Yeah, I mean, we kind of guessed that we was going to get a triple threat at Mania, and I guess we know what one we're getting now.
Yeah, well, we'll go into more details on SmackDown because there's more related to that on there, and I have some bones to pick with it, particularly.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Fastlane.
Basically, Bryan won, but Reigns got the pin.
Yeah.
It is what it is. As far as ranking goes, I say 7 out of 10 for Fastlane.
And so, what would be your match for the event? If you're going to tell someone to watch a match from it.
I don't know, to be honest. If you like chaos, then McIntyre versus Sheamus. But if you're wanting a decent wrestling match than Rollins and Nakamura.
Cool. I think that's fair enough. Okay, so obviously after this, we're on to Raw now,
Yeah.
where, let's see, if I'm not mistaken, isn't it Lashley and Sheamus?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you was you counting the leg slaps?
No, the leg slap thing is stupid.
The Sheamus got fined. First match of the night, and he did a leg slap with a high knee to Lashley.
Yeah. For what reason? Why would you fine him? I think it's stupid.
Mm.
It makes no sense to me, basically.
I find it funny as well with Sheamus doing that. The fact that he was in the first match of the night as well, it was kind of like a middle finger to Vince McMahon. It was like, here's your leg slap. He did it right in front of the camera as well, as if to say, I don't care about your fines.
To be honest, I'm just assuming he forgot. Because if you're in the habit of doing something, it's probably just something he's always done. So,
I mean, he's been doing it for over 20 years, so yeah, probably.
I mean, I for one think doing leg slaps is stupid anyway. But I think it's stupider to fine people for doing it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Big surprise here. Who won though?
Oh yeah, especially after the horrific last man standing no DQ match that happened the night before. It wasn't last man standing. It was no DQ.
I think it was no holds barred, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
it was that memorable.
I think it was I think it was billed as no holds barred anyway. Lashley beat Sheamus,
and we might be having a possible Hurt Business implosion.
Possibly, but obviously there's stuff later on which touches upon this as well, because we will get to that in a little while. Next on my list after that, I have Asuka versus Peyton Royce, which Asuka won, but this is probably more memorable as to what happened afterwards.
Ripley.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley emerged, making her debut. And
we find out Charlotte has COVID.
Oh, yeah. But that was... How do I put this? I kind of knew, because people I know stuff, but unless it comes out from the person, I don't think it's for anyone to say that.
Yeah,
but she's come out and said this now, so it's different.
Yeah, I looked into it, and then Rhea Ripley did get the okay from Charlotte Flair first.
Oh, I know.
Before announcing it on public TV.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Rhea Ripley challenged Asuka for a match at Mania.
It's going to happen. Getting it.
Yes.
There's one match I'm looking forward to.
It's Plan D, mind you, but it's better than what A, B, and C would have been. I am happy. Yeah.
Nightmare versus Empress at Mania.
Yeah. As long as they don't do anything stupid with the build up to this, it'll be good.
I mean, they've only got a week. I don't see how they can ruin it.
WWE.
I can't believe I just said it.
Yeah, I'll remind you of that.
No, don't.
I will insert this clip and play it if something really stupid happens.
I'll dye my hair so I look completely different. I don't know who that guy is.
Well, you're going to do that in a few days anyway, aren't you, when the charity changes?
I don't know, because I haven't been able to get hold of the guy that used to supply my hair colours and stuff in Sheerness. I think they might have gone out of business.
Ah, okay.
So I may have to go on Amazon.
Wow. Well, we know you got that evil witch device there, so that should help you.
Sure.
Yes, that one. So, but yeah, at least we got something good out of this. I'm happy. Great. Just don't screw with it. Then I have Miz beating Jeff Hardy. Pointless. It's the best I can say about this.
Yeah. Can't exactly argue with you there, to be honest.
So it did nothing for anyone.
Except for Bad Bunny afterwards.
Okay. Yeah, I meant the match itself, but yeah, the Bad Bunny, sure, because at least that made sense because of what obviously who he's facing.
Yeah, I mean, it was the match itself was bog standard. I mean, a good win for Miz.
I think you're being kind, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, at least the Bad Bunny stuff makes sense because he's fighting Miz at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
So that, at least storytelling wise, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I like Bad Bunny. I think what he's done so far has been good. And this didn't dissuade me from that notion. But we'll see how he does when he actually competes. I'll be interested to see.
I mean, I don't mind anybody that calls the Miz a bitch. So
everyone calls them is a bitch. I think that's. I think you get given that card as you walk in the building. Welcome to WWE. Locker room's over there. Catering's over there. And this card explains to you the most basic rule that you have to do. Miz is a bitch. Okay. Followed by don't sneeze or cough in front of Vince.
Mm-hmm. Or yawn.
Oh yes, or yawn. Yes, that's a good one. Definitely so.
Or sleep.
Yeah, basically do anything other than do what Vince says, essentially. So after that,
Kofi versus AJ,
which is what I have. Yes. So Kofi won.
Just
not mad about that.
It's a good match. I mean, nothing wrong with it, apart from the Mania booking, because it's not like they have other tag teams.
No, but at least it makes sense in relation to what they're going to be doing.
I mean, the only reason I'm probably...
I'll say, which for WWE is a big step.
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I'm probably going to watch the Tag Team Championship at Mania is because I do want to see Omos's debut, because I want to see how or if he has improved since his NXT.
Yeah, if he's going to be as bad as you remember, or if he's got a lot better. Because I would say, bear in mind, that was his first one. He's been around Kofi, Xavier Woods, and AJ Styles in the meantime, so hopefully something's rubbed off.
I mean, there was a mention of some training going on between him and AJ while we was going through the match.
Yeah, there was also a while back a bunch of them were taken for big man training back at the Performance Center, which Keith Lee was one of which I imagine our friend here was as well.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, and the guy leading it was A-Train of all people.
That makes sense.
Anybody who knows how to be a big man, it's A-Train. I mean, he was quite the unstoppable force back in like WCW. Did I get that right?
A-Train was WWE. He was Attitude Era. He was Albert. Him and Test were a tag team. Then later he became A-Train. And also more recent. I suspect he wants to talk about Roman. Yeah, we're just going to do that while Bruce is barking. I'm sure something's going on.
Bruce.
Maybe he doesn't like the fact it's a triple threat. Or maybe he just wants to be on the camera. Either way works. Hello, Bruce. So. There you go. Doggo on camera.
Okay then.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean we'll see what happens as far as the actual tag team match goes. But hopefully it's better than people think it will be.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was Matt Bloom, wasn't it? So yeah, Matt Bloom. More recent years, the last time anyone would have seen him wrestle would be Lord Tensai.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Performance Center replaced Bill DeMott, and a lot of people will know who that is. And if you don't, look it up. There's a reason Bill DeMott does not do anything for WWE anymore. That's why we have Matt Bloom now, and Matt Bloom, by all accounts, is a much better trainer.
I mean, I think they had like a Matt Bloom like ran the workshop, but they also had I think the Big Show and Mark Henry like taking pointers and stuff as well.
Yeah, Matt Bloom's the head trainer at the Performance Center, so that's why he'd be there. So it makes sense. So
obviously, Mark Henry and Big Show are two of the best well-known giants.
I would argue Big Show is the best well-known.
Yeah.
So simply because his gimmick was being a giant. I mean, if you're going to talk actual big men, though, you'd want Undertaker or Kane. So,
but Kane's a bit.
Obviously, for various reasons, they couldn't do it. So, but yeah, Mark Henry's as good a big man as anyone. Yes, he's not big, but he's big in a way that would work for most people. And Big Show, well, as I said, yeah, Big Show.
Excuse me.
So, but hopefully that's rubbed off and helped. Next on the list I have is a handicap match.
I have something before that happened.
Oh, do you? Okay.
The Riddle and Sheamus segment.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Where
go on.
Riddle bumped into Sheamus as he was getting interviewed. And he said, "I have a question." And Sheamus said, "Yeah, sure." And he said, "A leprechaun's real. Where's your pot of gold?" And all these Irish stereotypical questions. And Sheamus said, "Can I have a look at your scooter?" And hit him with the scooter and walked away. Yeah,
there's a reason I didn't remember this, because this was stupid.
I'm hoping that we get Sheamus versus Riddle at Mania.
I think
for United States Championship.
I think you probably are, in all honesty. But that is a stupid. I thought it was a stupid segment and a stupid way to start an angle. But it's WWE booking, so what do you expect?
I mean, I'm not totally against it. Bruce just snorted and ran away, so I think he is.
Yeah. Maybe
I mean, they can both pack a punch when it comes to like being in the ring.
Yeah, I just think this is a stupid way to get to it. You could have just had Sheamus challenge him without the need for insulting his Irish heritage.
Yeah, there is that, but
because everyone does it to Sheamus and it's boring.
But Riddle's a stoner, so it kind of makes it funny.
No, not really.
Does to me.
Well, I think there may be a thing here, because I personally don't think stoners are funny. So just maybe a difference in humour. You may find them funny.
Maybe a generation thing.
Possibly. So, but I've told people it's okay to like what you like. I mean, I'm just giving my opinions on these things. If people disagree with what I've got to say, that's fine. I have no issue with that. But if you want me to change my mind, you have to convince me. But if you're giving your opinion, that's fine. No problem with opinions.
Yeah, just an opinion.
Yeah, which I always think is fine.
Can't exactly change your opinion. Everybody has one.
Everyone should have an opinion. Not an issue with that. If you're trying to change somebody's mind about an opinion, you have to be able to convince them. And I don't care enough about that angle to try and convince anyone.
But
that's how it works. So now it is the handicap match, isn't
it? Yeah.
Yeah. So we talked about the Hurt Business implosion thing earlier, and at least this made sense as to why it happened. That's all I can say about it. And there's at least a stake to this match. However, I'd never like the idea of one person beating two, unless it's somebody like the Big Show.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a handicap match. You got Drew McIntyre defeating Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander.
Sorry about that. the lighting on my camera was a bit off, and I was starting to look really pale.
No worries. It happens with this. It can happen with the lighting, definitely. It's particularly with computer cameras,
Yeah, I think my laptop's on its way out.
quite possibly. But as I said before, at least this had a reason. It made sense. It also means that by losing, those two can't be at ringside for the match with Lashley.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't have any reason before that stipulation was added, and when it was, I kind of drew a sigh of relief because I was just like, okay, well, at least we're getting something out of this match. It's not just completely pointless squashing two perfectly decent talents.
Yeah, it made sense in that respect. And also, you're trying to make Drew strong. I understand that. But I still don't like these sort of handicap matches unless you're somebody like Strowman, Kane, Undertaker, or Big Show, who are known for flattering people, as in knocking them on their asses and really basically laying people to waste, essentially. Which Drew is a lot of things. Do I think Drew could do it to a group of people? No. Do I think Big Show could do it to a group of people? Hell yes. I've seen Big Show do that to a group of people.
Yeah, I mean, I did like the fact that there was a clean win from it, though. There wasn't any controversy to it at all, as well.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been a way to possibly keep them strong, but at the same time, if you're going to take a loss to the potential challenger for the world title, then yeah, clean's probably the best, in all honesty.
Yeah, there's nothing crooked about it.
So,
unlike the Sheamus and Lashley match, which really confused me earlier on in the night.
Yeah.
But once the night was over, it kind of all made sense and came together. So
I was going to say, speaking of things I didn't actually really like and don't really like, I have a tag match next, which should be Nia Jax and Baszler. They get defeating Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke.
The Bombshell Blondes versus the Magician and Hole. I'm getting bored of Reginald. I'm sorry. Anything that Reginald's involved in at the moment, I'm just yawning.
I was bored of Reginald after the match with Sasha, which was fine. After that was it. Go away.
I really hope he's 86 before Mania.
Or you should have stuck with Carmella, which is the other thing. If you're going to have him.
I hope. You know what? I wouldn't be opposed. I wouldn't be opposed to him, like, going to NXT or, like, 205 Live and, like, wrestling there. But why is he in the women's division? You just... Why?
No.
It's just like, is this Vince's, like, thoughts of gender equality or something?
No, because I don't think Vince believes in that, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, I think this is just his way of taking the piss out of it.
Yeah. Also, it might have something to do with the fact they took on a new head of talent relations, which was John Laurinaitis, who dates back from the Divas era.
People power!
Yeah, but the thing is, his idea of recruiting female wrestlers was blonde with big tits.
Or brunette with big tits.
Essentially, blonde and big tits, because that was what Vince liked, so that's what he tried to get. So that's why the Divas era was a lot of ways is why it was. He wasn't so fussed about the fact of whether they could wrestle or not, it's just whether they look good.
And that led to injuries.
So, yeah, essentially. So this may affect the women's division, and I think it probably is affecting the women's division.
I mean, we're getting the Nightmare versus Empress at Mania, so it can't be affecting the women's division that badly, can it?
Well, it depends on what he's involved in, I guess.
What are you doing?
But you've got to bear in mind that was like Plan D. That was not the original plan by any stretch of the imagination. As far as that goes. So.
Where did you get this?
So. Yeah.
Sorry, dogs. Looks like a blooming baby. You turn around and the next minute he's got something that you didn't. I don't even know where he's got it from.
Yeah, but maybe best you don't know. But yeah, so Jackson, Baszler beat Rose and Brooke. Yeah, no surprise. Didn't need to be here. Reginald needs to go away. There you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Next thing I have is Braun
Elias.
Strowman. Yeah,
The song was funny, but stupid.
but that's Elias. That's his gimmick, and that's fine because if that's his gimmick, I have no issue with that. You, as long as you're doing your gimmick, he's consistent with his gimmick. That's what he does. No
Yeah.
issue with that. Okay, whether you like
I
him or
mean-
not, it's no thing, but at least it's consistent.
I mean, it was basically a squash match. A
Yeah.
surprise! Shane is fine, and he hits Braun with his walking cane.
Do you know what I found funny? Is Elias had no notice at Fastlane and did better in that match than he did in the match where he had noticed he was going to fight Braun.
Yep.
And apparently, Shane McMahon has discovered the Fun Factory or Nickelodeon. Whole Gunge thing.
Oh, you're a week too late with that one. That was last week.
Yeah, but my point is, he's at that level, so I don't give a shit about Shane McMahon. So he hit him with a cane. Ooh.
Yeah. Braun didn't even flinch.
And why should he? I've had this discussion about Shane McMahon before. He is not a trained wrestler. He is an out of shape old man who just happens to have had fight training. Nobody should be taking that guy seriously.
I mean, like, I personally wouldn't want to fight Shane McMahon,
I would. I'd kick his ass.
but I give it my fair go.
I'd kick his ass.
Hmm.
Because he'd get out of breath far too easily. You could easily beat his ass.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyone could fight him. I mean, Bruce could fight him.
He
Yes,
just looked at me
Bruce.
and cocked his head.
Yeah, Bruce could fight him. But yeah, it's what you expect. Bad booking. What you going to do? Anyway, last thing I have listed here.
But your ear's burning.
His ears probably are burning, yeah. So, yeah, we were talking about you, Bruce. Yeah, last thing I have listed here is Randy Orton summons the Fiend, right? And why? Why would you do that? Why?
The poor lapse in judgment?
If you're a rational,
I mean,
sane
he
person who's
tried
been
to
tortured
set-
by a supernatural being, why would you summon it? Has he never seen a horror film?
I mean, you tried to set him on fire, and the thing just stood there. And kind of, oh, we're doing this again, are we? Okay, I'll play along. And then next thing you know, Orton's got 2 fingers down his throat and gets Abigailed.
Yeah.
And there you go. There's the lazy setup for Mania.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I will say
Mm.
one thing about the Fastlane match, though. I'm really glad that it wasn't cinematic,
You're
because
really
it could have
glad.
been. That the
I didn't
Bliss
quite catch
versus
that. You cut out for me.
I'm glad that the Bliss versus Orton match at Fastlane wasn't cinematic, because it really could have been.
Well, they found a creative way around it because there was no way they were going to wrestle each other.
No.
So at least there was something, but I don't think a lot of people probably appreciated it.
I mean, it could have been worse, but especially like considering.
It could be. At least Randy got to have a fun pin. But anyway,
I bet we know a Jack that very much would have appreciated that pin from Alexa.
I think quite a few people would appreciate that pin, to be perfectly honest. But unfortunately, she's engaged. That's like people.
Lucky Murphy.
It's not Murphy.
Not Murphy? I
They
thought she
broke
was-
up. That was ages ago.
Ah.
Her
Who now?
fiance's got nothing to do with wrestling.
Lucky devil.
Yeah. Good for her, good for them. I hope they're happy. Anyway, I now have NXT, I believe. So we should be, NXT!
Yay.
Usually Aaron's favourite part, so this should be fun. Right. I have Gonzalez and Kai versus Stark and Shirai.
Yeah, good match. Nice face-off / brawl to finish the segment. Can't really say much more than that, really.
Yeah, it's what you'd expect.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Also, bearing in mind you had the old Shirai challenging Gonzalez thing the week before as well.
Yeah, so it's just like building up story for it, but not giving too much away because they've still got a week before it happens.
Yeah, it's not a bad thing. You don't always have to give everyone everything, but at least have something.
No, yeah, definitely.
So, I mean, this was something because at least they sort of faced each other in a tag match, which is not a bad thing because it's not like the 700th time they've done it.
No, not at all.
And as you pointed out, well, also as you pointed out, there's only a week and so before the actual thing happens. So
yeah, the Stand and Delivers next week, isn't it?
it's the same week as Mania, isn't it? It's just it's earlier in the week.
Yeah, I think it's next week. Or is it the week after?
So it's whatever. It's the Wednesday before the Mania, I believe. So
I can't remember. So I know Mania's on the 10th.
let's see if I can find it. Wednesday the 7th. So it'll be so it's Wednesday the 7th, which is actually not this Wednesday, the following Wednesday. So 2 Wednesdays time.
Yeah, because this next Wednesday's the
31st. Yeah. So
the last day of the Purple Hair Month.
Exactly. So also talking stuff's that Wednesday as well. So always fun.
There we have Bronson Reed versus LA Knight.
Well, that push lasted long.
I mean, I wanted to see it. I got it, and I wasn't completely let down. I wasn't exactly happy about it either.
Yeah, it's about the best you can say.
Yeah.
So there you go. But makes you wonder what LA Knight's going to bloody do.
You kind of mess with the wrong guy, to be honest. I mean, Bronson was mid-push when he arrived, and for LA to do that, it was kind of like, yeah, he's going to get squashed. But I just wanted to see how badly he got squashed, and it was pretty damn good.
I would say, to be fair, though, at least he didn't pick a fight with two of the people into either the next two matches, because I think that would have been worse for him.
But I mean, I reckon LA could have held himself against Oni, but Carrion, nah. Nope.
Well, I meant the next two matches. I didn't mean Only. I meant the guy in the match after their match. Yeah, got me. Right. So the next match, literally in line, is Karrion Kross defeating Only Lorcan. No one is surprised by this.
Heavy hitting. Didn't expect anything else.
Yeah.
Ouch.
But that's what you wanted from this match, and that's what you got.
I mean, best regards to Danny Burch on his injury. Best regards to Danny Burch on his injury. Want to wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, legitimately injured by Karrion Kross in the match they had last week. So, but yes, hopefully he is better soon. Someone who
They
will
said
not be better
6
soon.
months.
Yeah, someone who will not be better soon, though, would be Drake Maverick.
Yeah, new chest, please.
Of all the people to put against Walter, why?
It's like Maverick went through all that stuff last year to get a contract, and it all culminated this week on NXT against Walter.
I'll just turn around and go, no, it's all right, you can keep your contract. Bye.
I quit.
If I was Drake, I mean. Again, it's what you'd expect from a match like that.
I mean, where was his tag team partner? Like, where's Killian?
Smarter than Drake, apparently.
Yeah, there's rumors that
Hello.
Imperium's gonna be adding 2 new members, and one of them's Killian, the other one's Thatcher.
Well, Thatcher's in the history there, and he's crossed paths with Dane before, so it wouldn't be meaning Walter, so it wouldn't be that surprising.
Well, we've also got Sanity
Wolf.
as well.
Yeah, because you had Alexander Wolf, who was Imperium, of course, is also used to be partners with Dane for Insanity, but I'm talking about Walter. Walter in Independence crossed paths with Dane as well.
I mean, Beast of Belfast crossed paths with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Certainly has. Again, someone who's very underrated and underused, right there, Killian Dane. My opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah.
Then it was
The NXT Tag Team Women's Champions. Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon defeat
Aaliyah and Mercedes Martinez.
No, and use her retribution name.
Did she even get one? I didn't think she was in there long enough.
She did get one. They all got one. She just never appeared on it with it on television. She was Retaliation.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How original.
I know. The group's called Retribution, and her name was Retaliation.
I swear to God. Me and you are going to fall out, Bruce.
I would say, though, in Martinez's defense, she's much better than that, and she did right to get the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I've literally noted that too. So I'm just glad they retained, because Mercedes deserves so much better than a tag team championship.
Oh yeah, and deserved much better than being stuck in Retribution. To be fair, they all deserve much better than to be stuck in Retribution.
Yeah, I mean, like, Mercedes Martinez, like, for those people who don't know, was a beast on the independent scene.
Yeah.
She's like ex-military as well.
She also made an appearance at an AEW pay-per-view before she was signed to WWE as well. So there are people who'd have seen her in that as well, and she's done various other promotions too. But yeah, you can just see her wrestle to see what she's like.
Yeah.
So let's see. Next up, we have something questionable as to why it happened, but
Devlin versus Kushida.
It wasn't a bad match. It's just the problem is that Devlin had to win because of the cruiserweight bollocks.
Yeah, but even still, like, in my opinion, that was match of the night.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. The match itself was fine. I just don't think they should have been facing each other, because you damage Kushida by that kind of match, because he's going to lose to the cruiserweight champion, and Kushida's not looking for cruiserweights. Kushida is aiming at the North American title or the NXT title, so it makes no sense to me for him to be facing the cruiserweight champion And the problem is he's going to have to lose to the Cruiserweight Champion because they're trying to build up the Cruiserweight Champion to face the other Cruiserweight Champion to have a unification of some kind. It makes no sense to me. But you are exactly right, though. It's a good match. It probably was the best match of the night. I would agree with that. So, apparently, my co-host here is being beaten by Bruce, and Bruce apparently is going to go over. Bruce's booking's better, apparently. You booked better, are you, Bruce? Yeah, I figured as much. Aaron, you need a better agent, man. Bruce is going over.
Ow!
See?
You just ripped the headphones out of both my ears at the same time.
I noticed. Yeah, I think you need a better agent there, Aaron, because Bruce is clearly getting over.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I've said my piece on the Devlin Kushida match. I mean, it was a good match, but probably shouldn't have happened.
No, I mean, it was a great match. Legado will probably live to regret interfering in Kushida's business.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, at least we're getting the ladder match at Stand and Deliver, which should be interesting.
Well, yeah, you do realise that Shawn Michaels keeps those in his coat. Ladders. Here's a ladder match. Here's a ladder match. Here's a ladder match. Here's a ladder match. For those
I mean,
of you
after all the great ones that he's had,
I would argue about someone who's been great, but to be clear, Shawn Michaels is a coach at NXT for people who don't know. I personally don't like Shawn Michaels. So it's a preference thing. I grew up watching Shawn Michaels, and he was a dick, and not in a good way, because there's a way to be a dick as a character, right? But he was actually a dick completely. He was a dick away from it, and he was a dick on the screen as well. It didn't enamor himself to me whatsoever. I mean, my sister, she loved Shawn Michaels. I thought he was a dick. But I think it's very much, at the time, he was very much, the girls liked him because he was a sexy boy. Yeah, fuck off, Shawn.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's why it's a ladder match, honestly, because probably Shawn Michaels has the hand in it.
Yeah, no doubt we'll see a moonsault off of a ladder with somebody holding a ladder. Because that was like Shawn's signature thing.
Yeah, I was going to say, obviously, don't get me wrong. It's having ladder matches isn't a bad thing. I just don't like Shawn Michaels, but NXT ladder matches, to be fair, have usually proven to be quite good. So, there you go. The only other thing I really have a note is the contract signing.
Yeah, I mean, Adam Cole's, like, his heel promo was, like, on point. And, like it or not, his promo kind of reminded me of, like, Triple H when he kicked Randy Orton out of Evolution and dropped him off of Batista, if you remember.
How appropriate.
Yeah, and then Kyle's promo was more of a, like, heartfelt face promo, and it was pretty good as far as promos go, like face promos. And then of course you've got the traditional contract signing breakdown where they tried to smack each other and get held apart by security.
The pull apart brawl, as we like to call it.
Yeah.
WWE trope number 297. That they have that many tropes. In fact, there's probably thousands of them. But again, though, at least it's a case of it's a blood feud. You don't expect them to be in the ring together, nicely for too long. That's just not going to happen. But at least that made sense. At least
I'm glad they finally got rid of the whole Undisputed Era stuff, because Adam Cole came out to that last week, even though the whole breakup was obvious. But now he's got his old entrance stuff back and everything. I do kind of feel for Roderick Strong in a way, but at the same time, I think that's probably what they want us to feel.
Yeah, I think it is definitely. I think the one who's going to have the interesting thing here will be Bobby Fish.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what's going to happen when he does return.
Yeah, I think
if he
Roderick Strong,
returns.
yeah, Roderick Strong will be fine. I think because Roderick Strong's too good not to be fine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's just obviously what he does from here forward. So, but yeah, again, the Undisputed Era thing, I'm on record of saying this many times. I was never a fan. It went on. Also, it went on far too long for what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about a year or so too long, at least.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like after Roderick Strong lost the North American title the first time, I feel like they should have done it where like he gets angry and jealous, so he goes after Adam Cole. But in a way, like they did kind of make it kind of clever because Bobby Fish got out with an injury, so Roddy took over from Bobby Fish with the tag team titles. So like they played it clever because of Bobby Fish's injuries, but at the same time, it did last too long.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, the only person who probably wasn't damaged by it lasting too long would be Strong, because Strong didn't join the group immediately. He was a later addition.
Yeah, I mean, he fought the Undisputed Era for a good year before joining.
So at least in that regard, it's not so bad for Strong, but the rest of them, I think, have been damaged by being in there too long. But hopefully, at least for O'Reilly and Strong's sake and Fish's, it goes on for them to have better things. I'm on record of saying this. I don't like Adam Cole. He needs to go away.
Yeah.
Okay. So at this point, that should be the end of NXT, I believe. So what do we think of this week's NXT?
I said a 9 out of 10. Literally, the Bronson Reed versus LA night match could have been better, but and I was a bit annoyed about the fact that the push ended a week later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad episode of NXT.
No, I would agree with that. It could have been much, much worse, fortunately.
Yeah, I mean, if Shotzi and Ember hadn't retained, I'd have been just like, is this going to be one of those bloody championships that swaps every week? I'd have been a bit annoyed. Or like, at least give them a decent reign.
Yeah, whoever gets the title goes to whoever's got it when the music stops.
Yeah, I mean, I found out. I was reading an article today about Ember Moon. When she was actually cleared, she didn't phone her husband or anybody that she's friends with straight away. She actually phoned Triple H. It was the first person she phoned because she was thinking about her career first before anything else. So she said, "I don't belong on Raw. I don't belong on SmackDown." And she phoned Triple H and asked to go back. She wasn't told to.
Yeah, with the way that she was booked, I don't blame her.
No.
Same thing with Finn. The fact Finn went back, don't blame Finn either. The way they were booked, it was not good. But anyway, from NXT now, we are on to SmackDown.
Can I do my 60-second NXT UK thing?
Of course you can. And
so this week on NXT UK, you had Trent Seven on Supernova Sessions, which was really funny. For those of you who don't know, Supernova Sessions is Noam Dar hosting a chat show, kind of like a British Chris Jericho. I'm going to kill this dog in a minute. Then you had Jack Stars versus Joseph Connors, and Joseph Connors won. It was a really good old-fashioned wrestling match, which was a nice match to watch. Then we found out who the new member of the Hunt is, replacing Wild Boar. We've got T-Bone, Tyson T-Bone, the newest member of the Hunt, and they were victorious in their debut. Then you had Isla Dawn versus Aaliyah James, and Isla Dawn won. And there's a little bit of foreshadowing of possibly seeing Isla Dawn versus Kaylee Ray in at NXT UK Prelude. Yeah. And then you had Gradwell versus Dragunov in a no DQ match. And it was everything you'd expect.
That's 60 seconds, by the way. You can finish. It's fine. I'm kidding.
No, it just finished.
Yeah, that was literally 60 seconds. So well done.
I mean, the no DQ match was like uncomfortable in places, and Ilya won via DQ.
It's a Dragunov match. What the hell do you expect?
All in all, 9 out of 10 for the NXT UK.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's a show which is better than what it's given credit for by people, because it's not, people don't really watch it because it's stuck on the network and people have to know to find it and stuff, and they don't really promote it at all, which is complete and utter twaddle.
I mean, if they was to get it on an actual TV like channel, I think people would be more than interested in watching it, because the writing for it is just it's so much damn better than like Raw or SmackDown at the moment.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, you could even, if they manage to get it onto a channel in the UK, for example, there's definitely an audience for it for UK wrestling.
I mean, ITV would probably be interested.
They won't.
I just need to go.
Yeah, no. But the reason ITV won't is because they've got AEW. And I imagine that's a no-no. No WWE in their stuff is, yeah. WWE would not like that idea, I don't think. But yeah, so Aaron apparently is going to kill the dog. Whether he means that or not, we do not know. But there's a good chance of that. So now we're going to 60-second NXT UK recap, which Aaron's very good at doing. Once he gets back on headphones, I'll explain about the TV deal thing in a minute. But we will be on to SmackDown, and I do not like the way SmackDown started. It sucked balls. But anyway, Aaron's back now, so I'll explain. Yeah, the reason why ITV won't be allowed to have NXT UK is because they show AEW, and there's no way Vince will allow that.
I mean, they could offer it to the BBC.
Yeah, more likely, or Channel 5. Or even Channel 4, but no, ITV wouldn't be a thing.
I could see the BBC actually going down a treat as well, because obviously with the British Broadcasting Association, you don't have adverts.
Also, they are bringing back BBC Three, apparently, at some point as well.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that going down well. It'd be well in on a decent opportunity there.
It wouldn't hurt.
Don't kill the dog. He didn't do anything wrong. He's annoying.
Yeah. I think it's more just a repeated barking going on, so it was just a bit annoying. But yeah, the thing is, if he actually had done that, then I would be having words with him, in all honesty, because, yeah, that's not cool. He says it, but he doesn't. He's not actually going to do it. At least he does not. Right. But anyway, we're going to go on to SmackDown now.
He ate my mum's Pandora box.
No idea what that is.
Pandora, the brand bracelets.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't care, but you know.
Well, yeah. He's her dog, though, right? So.
Yeah, shouldn't leave her stuff laying around.
No, you can't leave things around a dog. A dog's going to do what a dog does. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
So,
it is what it is.
Yeah. So SmackDown, which started with Daniel Bryan. Who apparently does not want to be gifted a title shot, then goes on to immediately ask for a title shot. Okay, go for it.
Daniel Bryan started off the night with a promo about how Reigns tapped out.
Yeah, which he did. That's fine.
He asked for a rematch, which I thought, great idea, before Mania, sure, why not?
Okay, that sounds okay so far, yeah.
But it also reminded me of his takeover of Raw a few years ago when he occupied Raw. Instead, this time there's no people, so he occupied SmackDown in an empty ring with a single steel chair.
Yeah. But the problem is, you can't say you don't want to be gifted stuff and then ask for a match, for a title match. That's a bit weird.
I didn't mind his idea about Edge versus Roman the first night, then him versus the winner the second night. I would have been all for that idea.
Yeah, but what has he done to earn a title shot?
He made Reigns tap out at Fastlane.
Yeah, and
he got screwed over by Edge, an enforcer that was supposed to be calling it down the middle.
And
yeah, I know.
We will touch upon this now because obviously this actually happens at the end of the show, but we'll mention it now, right? This gets made into a triple threat match, the main event for WrestleMania. Okay.
And
but
it's night 2 as well.
Yeah, but here's the issue I have with it, right? Adam Pearce, remember, WWE has no authority figures.
Bullshit.
Changes the WrestleMania main event into a triple threat match.
That Edge earned.
Which Edge earned by winning the Royal Rumble, which apparently, according to Daniel Bryan,
from number one.
Yeah, apparently Daniel Bryan seems to think Edge didn't do anything to earn it. Apparently Daniel Bryan did not remember the Royal Rumble. It's a nonsense. I understand wanting to have a threat match. I do. But make it make sense. If you're going to do that, it wouldn't have been that hard. It really wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, then Edge snapped after calling Bryan a son of a bitch, which she kind of giggled.
It's the WWE word that is bitch.
You son of a bitch. I was like,
uh-huh. Yeah, WWE don't do the rude words, so that's about the most colourful they get.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, the first 15 minutes of the show was probably the best start to SmackDown I've seen in a long time. But the writing wasn't exactly original, let's be honest. But let's not act surprised here.
The writing was bad.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Yeah. So, no problem with a triple threat match, but get us there in a way which actually doesn't make them look like morons. You know?
I mean talking about morons.
Uh-huh.
We've got Rollins versus Nakamura next.
Uh-huh, yeah.
Anybody else going to comment on the deja vu? It's just like...
I swear you just said that.
Yeah. I mean, why did we have to see this again?
Because booking!
I'm not saying it because I didn't enjoy the match at Fastlane. I did, apart from on the night when I fell asleep before it had even started. I blame Elias for that.
You know why this makes even less sense?
Because he lost again.
Yeah, and then it leads to a WrestleMania match that doesn't involve Nakamura in any way.
I mean, yeah, and to make matters worse, giving us the same match repeatedly in such a short time frame makes great matches go stale. I'll give you an example of this would be like last year, the matches where between Rey Mysterio and Andrade on Raw. Like they were some magical matches. But
the Hurt Business versus Apollo Crews. they fought each other like 15 weeks in a row.
Yeah, and just like 2 weeks fine, but if they do it 3 weeks in a row, it's just going to be too much, and nobody's going to want to see that match again for like 5 years.
Yeah, you have to
and you're
space
wasting
that.
the chance to have it like
Space
be
it-
a decent feud.
Yeah, space it out or be creative
Yeah.
about it, but you can't have the same match for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 weeks in
Yeah.
a row.
No, I mean, like it's just too much. And all I'm going to say, thank Cesaro's back, because if we had to see Nakamura and Rollins next week, and then Nakamura versus Rollins at WrestleMania because Cesaro's concussion hadn't gone down, I just wouldn't have watched it. Like, there's only so many interpretations of a single match you can watch without going, oh look, they did that 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I actually have an idea. I think I possibly could have. So I would suggest to you as a possible alternative to Cesaro versus Rollins as a match. I mean, I like the idea of Cesaro and Rollins as a match. Don't get me wrong, but why don't we just add Nakamura and have all three of them?
A triple threat.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I don't think that will happen because Nakamura's got no business fighting
Yeah, but that's my
Cesaro.
point. This is why this match. Well, there's unfinished business. There should be tag partners, but it would make sense because you could have Nakamura as if saying, "I want to get my hands on Rollins." I know you're in a match.
Cesaro say no,
Yeah,
and then they start to argue about it. Yeah,
you can make it work.
the tag team could implode, and it would be one less tag team to worry about on the SmackDown side of things, and they might be able to actually make a decision as to who's facing the Dirty Dogs at WrestleMania, because I'm just getting pissed off with the tag team division.
I actually suspect the tag team title match at WrestleMania is going to be a multi-team match.
I had a feeling it would be. I was thinking it was probably going to be a fatal four-way between the 4 tag teams that have been in this little rivalry.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like that. So, but at least we get Cesaro against Rollins at Mania, so at least that's something good that came out of this.
Yeah, I did like the way that Cesaro kind of accepted Rollins' challenge by swinging him around 10 times,
Swing,
dropping him,
blah, blah, blah,
and then saying, I accept, and walking away. And then Rollins tried to attack the refs because he didn't know where he was.
because he's dizzy from being swung. At least that makes sense.
The
But
dizzy
yeah,
dummy.
It's something good to look forward to. Right. Next up, I have a 6-man match, and boy, do I have some problems with this.
I mean, and I can probably agree with the majority of your problems, but I will say Otis and Gable had a really good showing.
I would agree with that.
I was really impressed with Gable, especially with the Northern Lights suplex that he pulled out halfway through the match.
Well, there's another guy who's underused and underrated, Chad Gable.
Yeah.
So,
But again, I don't know what's supposed to be going on with the tag titles.
I'm not sure WWE does. I think that's the problem. But yeah, they fought Apollo Crews in the Alpha Academy, defeated Big E in the Street Profits. And the thing that most annoys me about this match is, guess who got pinned, people? Take a wild guess who it was. It was your Intercontinental Champion, Big E.
I would actually like to point something out that doesn't have anything to do with the match. It doesn't.
Okay, go ahead.
Apollo's entrance, he carries a traditional Nigerian spear.
Okay.
He carried it upside down to the ring. And I don't know whether or not any people watched, but he had the weighted end up. So there was this giant cone with a round edge that's supposed to be touching the floor, sticking up in the air, and the spike of the spear pointing down to the floor. And I was just like, what are you doing?
I mean, to be fair, I didn't see his entrance, so I didn't know that happened. But that sounds about right, to be honest.
I was just like, oh my god, your character's immaculate. Can't even hold a spear the right way up.
Yeah, at least everything's dodgy and doesn't work right.
Yep.
as far as the character goes, I mean, Apollo Crews is an actual wrestler. He's a great wrestler, in all honesty. But again, they've got no clue how to use the guy.
He doesn't know how to use a Nigerian spear either.
Yeah, I suspect, and this is an assumption, is what happens. He gets ready, and that spear just gets handed to him by a stagehand as he comes out.
Yeah,
So
but it looks like he's...
Yeah, but I'm
looks
assuming
ridiculous upside down.
that's what I mean. I'm assuming the stagehand is giving it to him the wrong way round. I may be wrong, but I'm guessing that's what it is. But it does that does sound funny though.
It is. I looked at it and I was just like, oh god.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I've seen one of these in person, and like the like actual like orb, like at the end of it is for balance and to keep it on the floor. Yeah, and then obviously you've got the spike because it's a spearhead. And he was holding it with the orb at this, like, and it's a long last spear as well. I was just like, oh no.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. Yeah. Although it's not as bad as pinning your Intercontinental Champion. Way to make your champions look strong, WWE. This is something that happens far too often. Knock it off.
We love booking.
Oh yeah, there's a reason the show is called what it is. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Next up, I have the KO show.
I'm just glad it finished the way it finished. I'm glad that we're getting the Mania match.
Yeah, it's Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Thank you very much.
I feel like WWE are panicking because of like all this, the COVID scares and everything, and because they've decided to do a 2-night event, they've realised they've given themselves too much space, so they're just chucking matches left, right, and centre. I mean, we're having a match that could headline a takeover and has headlined multiple takeovers in the NXT brand.
Yeah,
at WrestleMania, and we're having Rollins versus Cesaro now at Mania as well, which is like a decent feud, but I didn't see it culminating at Mania.
I think what it is, in all honesty, it's because Mania is going to be the first pay-per-view, but they've actually got actual fans since this whole thing started, and both nights going to have fans. So I'm guessing that's why they want to put on a show where the fans are all coming away going, "Oh, I really missed this. I can't wait to go back to the next one." Again, it's like trying to entice people. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
It's not a bad tactic to do. Give people good stuff. People generally will like it and come back.
Yeah.
So, you know, but again, we've got the talk show, and then, of course, as a result, we've got Kevin and Sami in a match. Yes, please. I hope Kevin Owens gets to have his pirate ship moment.
I hope that they add a stipulation to the match as well. I hope there's a match next week between like Owen and Sami. Winner gets to pick the stipulation at Mania, because I feel like a normal match for the pair of them just won't be gratifying enough.
I think you could probably do it without them having a match beforehand, because it's something I really don't like about WWE is when they have a pay-per-view match, the Raw SmackDown before the pay-per-view.
Oh, I think that at the at Sami's trailer premiere next week, I think Owens attacks Sami with a steel chair or something, or vice versa, and then it becomes a steel chair match or TLC match or something.
Or no DQ match. Yeah, do something like that. That's fine. No issue.
Just don't make them have a match.
Yeah. Get us there without them having to face each other first.
At least that way they won't have neither of them will have an excuse either. They won't be able to say, "Oh, I'm not 100%" or something like that. And we won't have to see that 3 weeks in a row as well.
Yeah, So, but cool. I have Bianca Belair next.
Yep, Belair versus Natty.
Which Bianca won. That's good.
A good match. Nice showing by Natalia.
Well,
as you'd expect.
I think Natalia's overlooked by a lot of people, but Natalia is a gifted wrestler, and
Learn from the best.
and he will tell you that himself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I'm saying about that. But yeah, Bianca won the match, which she should, because she's going to Mania's challenge Sasha. Good build up, nice match, and it was a good match that displayed Bianca's ability. That's what she won from that.
And as I touched on before, they're doing the whole one-up thing, but it is 2 weeks too late.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Yeah, they should have started well before now, but yeah. At least they're doing something. At least they're trying to correct it now, at least. So hopefully they are.
Yeah. The atmosphere's there. They've just got to work on it as much as possible.
Yeah. If I can see it from that point of view, if I can see someone's trying to do something right, then great. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt on that, because not everything is going to be a home run every time. It just doesn't happen. But if you're legitimately showing me you're attempting to try to do something good and you're getting there, I'll be very patient with you, because it's a case of, oh, you're trying to make it better. That's cool. Just keep doing keep trying to make it good, and we will not have a problem.
Yep. Couldn't agree with you more.
Right.
And then you had...
Wait, apparently it's 2010 again.
I'm trying to think of the reference.
Rey Mysterio versus Dolph Ziggler.
Yeah, I saw the Instagram clip. They posted it the night before, saying this match happened so many years ago, and I was just like, "Why are you posting this? Like saying about it?"
You know what's worse about that? I remember that match.
I think I do as well. Now come to think about it. I think I started watching around like 2006.
Yeah. I mean, fortunately for all of us, both Rey Mysterio and Dolph Ziggler are talented wrestlers, regardless of what you think about them. And at least it was still a good match. It wasn't great, but it was good.
I mean, when you saw Rey get thrown over the barricade, you heard the crash mat. So it's like, oh no, Rey! And then you heard and you was like, oh, there's a crash pad there.
Good. I want there to be a crash mat there. Yeah. I don't want people actually getting hurt. Jesus.
It's just I think they had like the cameramen were a bit too close. The mics are like sensitive on the cameras, of course, and like you heard the crash mat, and it was like, yeah, he's fine. It's okay.
Well, yes, the audio production team they've just got the mics up, certain mics up where they shouldn't have them and stuff. That's But again, it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, we heard the crash mats. Oh, good, there's crash mats. They're not going to actually die. I'm quite happy about that.
And then, it was like pretty good. I mean, of a match, to be honest. So the comeback wasn't surprising.
Yeah, Rey Mysterio won, which, to be honest, I'd expect that. Oh, here we go. We have a comment.
When you're saying about the legend that is Rey Mysterio, it's like, okay.
When WWE can't think of anything original, they always use old feuds or old storylines on new wrestlers. They need a new creative team. Yes, they do.
I'm not being funny, but you can kind of compare to WWE to soap operas on that kind of line. Because if you've ever watched like EastEnders, they use the same storyline over and over again.
Yeah,
it's very rare that you see a new storyline.
Give it 2 to 5 years, and most of the storylines have been recycled at some point in soap operas. But I mean, I do think Stephanie has a point there, though, because WWE have got to a point where it's not every 2 or 5 years; it's every 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
So someone needs to do something. I'm definitely with her on that.
I mean, there's the creative team on that side of things is just. They're not with the times. They're going for like old things that they know have worked before, and they think it's going to get the same outcome, but it really doesn't. It may be different people, but it's the same storyline. They're just
the problem is, particularly WWE, is they are writing, producing, and doing a show for an audience of one, and that's Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Everything has to go through Vince.
Hmm.
And if Vince doesn't like it, it ain't going to happen, which is a problem because Vince is an old ass man at this point and has no idea
Numero uno.
about certain other things in the world. So he thinks about what he likes. I understand that. I like what I like too. But unlike Vince, I understand not everyone likes the same things I do.
Yeah, like if you was to buy me chocolate for Christmas, I'd just be like, "Why are you doing this?" Whereas if I bought you chocolate for Christmas, you'd be over the moon.
Thank you very much. Yeah. If I bought you chocolate, it'd be, why'd you buy me chocolate? Because I know you wouldn't have it and you give it back to me. That's pretty much what it is. But yeah, it's a good analogy. It's a case of, yeah, you get something because you want it, but you don't necessarily give that same thing to somebody else because you know they don't like it. That's not how it works. You're breaking a product that's viewed by many millions of people. Why are you only thinking about yourself when it comes to these programs? It makes no sense.
It's not only that; it's the grip on social media, the limited grip on social media that like Vince has as well. When he hears that something's gone down well on social media, like previous matches, he turns around and goes, "Oh well, they like that. Let's do it again." And he's just like, "But they liked it, but we don't have to do it again. They did the match gratitude. We don't want people getting bored of this." But he's just like, "No, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's hear the crowd pop." And we're just sitting there like, wait, we saw this last week.
Vince goes, "It's such good shit.
I'm doing a great job." Are you though? Are you really? No.
This is pretty much WWE's creative team right here. So Vince goes, "But it's such good shit." And then the next thing you hear is, "I love you, Vince." And that's how you get creative.
Yep.
But
and then we had the last part of the night, which
we did kind of touch upon this before, but yes.
Yeah, I don't see why they had to bring them all to the ring, but I kind of get it. From a promotional standpoint, them all beating the crap out of each other. Well, Edge beating the crap out of all of them, and then spearing two officials as well. I was a bit like, okay, yeah, he's finally lost it. This is the Edge that we saw in late 2005, 2006.
If you're going to have people beating each other up like that, the way you did there, that literally has to be the show before Mania. It shouldn't be this show.
I mean, if that's what they're doing this show, they better pull out all the stops next week.
Right. This is what I meant. This is why I mentioned about the Sami Zayn thing. Don't have them face each other. Do something different. If you're going to have this where they attack each other for the main event thing, when you're announcing a triple threat, have them jump, have a major brawl at the very end of the very last show you do directly before the pay-per-view.
Yep.
Don't do it now.
No. Do it next week.
Yeah. So,
well, the week after, actually, because it's not this week.
Yeah, it's not next week. It's the week after. Yeah. So, because the Friday SmackDown is literally right before Mania.
Yeah, and by then, Prelude and Stand and Deliver will have already have happened. Yeah, I'm going to be knackered that week.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
I'm just going to need like a week to recover.
Oh, you know what's worse than that? You got to take notes as well.
I'm going to need a bigger jotter pad.
Yeah.
My mum's going to bloody hate me. I'm going to be nocturnal for that week.
You'll be like,
I say she's going to hate me. I'm pretty sure she does already, but you know, it is what it is.
She will not be enamored with your behavior that week, is what you're saying.
One will not be amused.
Mm-hmm. Yes, not amused at all. So, but yes, basically, as we touched on before, yeah, Adam Pearce, who apparently has the power to change Mania matches, despite the fact there's no authority figures in WWE.
He didn't even get a phone call from like anybody from management or anything. He literally changed the match of his own accord. There's no phone call or anything like getting orders from powers above. It was literally him. It was like, okay.
So basically, just to clarify for people, to anyone who is not sure what we're referring to, it's now Daniel Bryan versus Edge versus Roman Reigns. Okay.
Mm.
Do I have a problem with this as a triple threat match? No, I'm sure it'd be great. Do I have a problem with how they got there? Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, I mean, from what I've heard, this has been like pre-planned, and Edge is going to pin Bryan for the title.
If that's the way that's been done to protect Roman, and it's stupid.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. They're trying to protect Roman as much as possible.
Yeah, it's dumb. To be honest, if Roman's not winning that match, then Bryan should win that match.
I mean, I agree, but yeah,
I can see WWE giving it to Edge, which will be the worst of the three, in all honesty. But again, it's still not that bad.
I mean, either way, I think I'll be happy. But I'm not. I don't think I want Roman to retain.
The problem is, I think he needs to.
Yeah.
That would be the thing.
SmackDown in total, I think was like 8.5 out of 10.
Dog's piss on the floor.
Cool. Yeah.
Get down.
That sounds about right. So,
which kind of like makes me think that WWE this week was 8 out of 10 in total, in general, including Fastlane.
Did you hear me?
No, I didn't. I've got both headphones in.
Right, dog's pissed on the floor.
So, yeah, just sorting something out there while that's going on. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, great. We're going to get medical tape as well.
So, yeah, so what we've discovered here is basically I have the grades for 8 out of 10 in total. From basically what I remember, NXT UK seems to be the favourite this week, which isn't surprising. It normally is.
I mean, NXT UK and SmackDown all did really well this week. I think NXT and NXT UK were the highest ranking, on my opinion.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that.
Fuck off, Bruce.
So, let's see. Do we have anything else to cover while we're there? I don't think we do. Obviously, there's a bunch of stuff leading up to Mania, which will take place over the next couple of weeks, more than likely, doing build-ups, various things. So, yay. We will, close to the time for Mania, probably do some predictions as well for Mania matches and such stuff. But obviously, we've got a while before we have to do that. So, let's see. We will have to probably at some point. It won't be. Let's see. I don't think we need to do it this week, do we? So, no. Next week we will probably do predictions for Stand and Deliver.
Yeah, Stand and Deliver does seem pretty exciting. Looking forward to the Karrion Cross Balor match and the Cole versus O'Reilly match as well.
Yeah, I was trying to work out the logistics. So yeah, the next time we do this, we'll have to do predictions for that because after that, it would have happened. So
yeah, and then the following week it would just be Mania. But actually, no, night 2 of Mania.
Well, it depends when we fit this in, to be perfectly honest. Because what we'll do is we'll probably just do one of these before Stand and Deliver, and then give you a bit of a break because obviously you're going to have a very long time then.
Yeah, and like part way in between those 5 events, I've got them in do a vlog as well of my own. So
yeah, and also most of the viewers would have been probably exhausted from wrestling, so we'll probably give them a bit of a break for that week and just do it the following Sunday or something.
Yeah.
So give everyone a chance to recover a bit.
Yeah.
That sounds like a plan. So obviously we let the people know now because we've just told them. So that would be the plan. So unless there's anything else, we can probably head off.
Yep, that's fine by me.
Right, so just before we go, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Patreon. If you wish to support us, here it is. Please have a look. Links in the description below. And we have the Twitter and
Tweet.
the Instagram. Then, of course, we also have Kieran Colours,
2 hours ago.
the Epilepsy Society for Aaron. So check it out. See what you can do for him. There's a few more days left this month, so see what you can do to help. And, of course, there's Aaron's Twitch. Are we streaming at all?
Next time I stream should be Monday.
Okay, so
I was planning on doing a stream today, but I'm kind of lacking in effort because I'm in a bit of pain.
No worries. But the easiest way to keep track of this stuff, guys, is to literally just follow or subscribe to the account, because that way you get alerts when people go live.
Get down!
So it helps. But generally, as Aaron says, it's usually on Mondays, but it helps if you follow them or subscribe, because that it literally does pop up. Same it does for our Twitch channel as well, because then you get to notify when we're streaming.
Yeah, I do need to do a trial run of my camera, so I might like pop upstairs in a bit and give it a go.
That's right. You got a new camera. I saw the photos and stuff. So
yeah, I'll finally be on my own streams, so
that's useful. That's a useful thing. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are pretty much done. So with which case, we will give you guys all a little wave, and we will see you next time.